Hi, hello, my name is Gomer Joseph. I hope we've all been having a great day so far. Welcome back to another True Crime Tuesdays video. If you are new, I welcome you. Today is the start of a new series in my channel called Did They Do It? In this series, I will be discussing cases where someone is serving time in prison, but their guilt is questionable. Today, I'll be discussing the murder of Maria Palomina. For about 20 years, Jennifer Jeffley has been serving time in prison for her murder. But did she really do it? Here we go. I really tried my best to find any background information about Maria Palomina, but since I really couldn't find anything, and since she was the one who lost her life, for the life of me, I really could not find anything about Maria's personal life or her family life, so I'll just start by discussing Jennifer Jeffley's background information. Jennifer Jeffley was born in the early 80s in Texas. Growing up, she was a part of a tight-knit family. Her family loved each other dearly. Though her family didn't have much, they were able to provide enough to keep a roof over their heads and have food placed on the table. She grew up with two brothers and two sisters. Unfortunately, the Jeffley family would face tremendous loss and a tremendous amount of tragedy in a short amount of time. Jennifer's oldest brother was a college student who senselessly was shot and killed during a summer vacation. The following year, her younger brother tragically lost his life after battling cancer. After the brothers' deaths, the family wouldn't have imagined the next trial that they were about to face. In late October of 1996, the Jeffley family recently moved to Houston, Texas. Jennifer was 15 years old at the time and in 8th grade. She was held back since she missed a lot of school in order to help out her brother who was dying of cancer. As the family was adjusting to life in Houston, Jennifer befriended a woman named Eva Mondragon. Now, Eva was 24 years old, befriending a 15-year-old, and these two lived in the same apartment complex, so I would assume that the family knew Eva since they lived in the same complex, because otherwise I don't see why her mother would allow her daughter to hang out with a grown woman. One night, Jennifer stayed at Eva's apartment, but the two women were not alone. They were joined by brothers Kenneth Driver and Pharrell Smith. The next morning, which was October 29th, 1996, is what changed Jennifer's life forever. Jennifer received a page from a family friend named Craig Peters. Since Eva's phone wasn't working in her apartment, Jennifer went to another neighbor's apartment to use the phone over there. This neighbor's name was Janet Dorsey. From what Jennifer stated, she spent a good amount of time talking with Janet while waiting for Craig to call her on the phone. Once he did, Craig and Jennifer spent a good amount of time talking on the phone with each other. After the phone conversation ended, Jennifer and Janet did spend some more time talking. When Jennifer arrived back to Eva's apartment, the teen saw the 24-year-old woman looking over her neighbor's balcony. Her neighbor was 71-year-old Maria Palomina. Eva was hysterical and told Jennifer that a woman was dead inside of the apartment, and she said that she was leaving to get help. Jennifer looked over the body and noticed that the door was slightly open, but couldn't see anything that would make it known that there was a dead body inside. Eva returned with two apartment managers and a maintenance man. First, the maintenance man knocked on the door but didn't get a response. He jumped over the balcony, then opened the front door. Once the front door was open, they saw Maria's dead body on the floor. Jennifer also noticed some pottery laying on the ground as well. After the body was discovered, Eva began to tell Jennifer to tell police that they were together with the brothers Kenneth and Pharrell during the time of the murder. Even though this wasn't true, Jennifer agreed to do it because Eva claimed that their lives were in danger. Since Jennifer was a teen listening to a trusted adult, she didn't feel any need to question it. When the police arrived, they discovered that someone was looking through Maria's kitchen drawers and looking through her purses. A medical examiner concluded that Maria was killed after being hit over the head with the piece of pottery and stabbed to death with her own kitchen knife, which was actually nowhere to be found. Police collected evidence and listened to witness statements. Eva told police that she, Kenneth, and Pharrell woke up after hearing screams from Maria's apartment. When the group ran out of Eva's apartment, she yelled down, "Are you okay?" Then Eva said that she heard a female voice saying, "Yes, I'm okay. I just fell and hit my head." After hearing this, Eva claimed to have ran to get help. But since Maria was in her 70s, you would think that at least one person in the group would want to check up on the woman. Not only that, but Jennifer didn't state that Kenneth and Pharrell were even at the apartment once, she got word of everything that went on with Maria. So to me, it just seems like they just disappeared after the murder. When Jennifer was questioned by police, Eva instructed the teen to tell police that she woke up after hearing screams, jumped over the balcony with the maintenance man, went inside Maria's apartment to look through the purse, looking for a pen, looked through drawers, looking for paper in order to write down what she saw in the apartment. The following morning, police arrived at the Jeffley apartment because they wanted to question Jennifer more. Jennifer was arrested, then Jennifer's grandmother asked if she could ride with them. The police claimed that there wasn't enough room for her to ride with them, so the grandmother asked the police if she could just follow them with her own car, and the police agreed. While she was walking back inside of the apartment, the police basically sped off with Jennifer. Jennifer's mom, Jackie, was informed by the grandmother of what occurred, and this was a strange situation to Jackie, especially since the police didn't even ask her permission to take Jennifer and had no idea where Jennifer was. Like, they were new to the area, so there was no telling exactly where her daughter was. During Jennifer's interrogation, it wasn't recorded with audio or video, and she wasn't with a legal guardian or lawyer. Jennifer started off telling the cops the story that Eva instructed her to say the day of Maria's murder. But she did say this because, she still had that mindset that she had to protect her family. The police began to ask Jennifer why her fingerprints touched the drawer. Once again, this was not true. She was nowhere near the scene of the crime. She was at a neighbor's house talking to a friend while Maria was being murdered. Unfortunately, the police are allowed to lie in order to get someone to confess to a crime, whether they did it or not. Because the police weren't believing her story, Jennifer unfortunately dug herself in a deeper hole by telling yet another lie. This time she claimed to have picked up pottery which was next to Maria's neck, but the cops still didn't believe the young girl. While Jennifer was being questioned, Jackie called the detective's number since he did leave the family his card. He claimed that Jennifer would be back in 30 minutes and Jackie believed him. 30 minutes passed by and he did not contact her at all, but Jackie did call back. The police basically kept going around circles with Jackie as she kept calling. Eventually, the police told Jackie that Jennifer was in good hands. When Jennifer asked for her mother and grandmother, the police told the 15-year-old that how she was fine and didn't need her mom and grandma since she wasn't in any serious trouble. After 9 hours of questioning without any breaks, Jennifer signed a statement which was typed by police. In this statement, Jennifer supposedly was with these two men named Ernest and Tim. The trio supposedly planned to rob Maria's car. They were said to have jumped the fence, entered the apartment. Maria screamed, then Ernest hit Maria over the head with the pottery. Jennifer was said to have searched the apartment, found the car keys, handed them over to this Tim, while this Ernest was killing Maria. This is when the statement says Eva yelled, "Are you okay?" And this Tim replied with a fake woman voice, "Yes, I'm okay. I just fell and hit my head." Jennifer supposedly washed her hands since there was blood on her hands, then fled the apartment. Not only is this statement insane, but what's crazier is that Jennifer didn't even read the statements. She's never even heard of an Ernest and Tim. As we all know, she wasn't even at the scene of the crime. The only reason the 15-year-old signed this form was because she was tired and lacked so much energy. Like I mentioned, she was questioned for 9 hours without any meal or bathroom breaks. When Jackie arrived, the police rudely told her that Jennifer wasn't going home. 15-year-old Jennifer Jeffley would be charged with capital murder. To make matters worse, the judge decided Jennifer should be tried as an adult, even though the age of a legal adult in Texas is 17. She'd be assigned to this lazy public defender who didn't even bother to contact Jennifer or her family. The first time any of them actually got in contact with this public defender was a year later during the trial. What's even worse is that the public defender didn't even consider calling Jennifer's alibi witnesses, who would have been Craig and Janet. Not only that, there was no forensic evidence, and the only piece of evidence was the typed statement written by police and signed by Jennifer, even though she didn't even read the typed statement. Unfortunately, Jennifer was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. She'd be eligible for parole 40 years after the sentence. In other words, Jennifer would have to be like 55 years old in order to be eligible for parole. When Jennifer tried to appeal her conviction, she was given the same lazy public defender. The appeal would be denied, so the family would eventually hire this new attorney named Rock Rosen, who was much more passionate than the public defender. Years later, Jennifer would receive a letter from the Houston Crime Lab stating that her DNA wasn't even found at the crime scene. To this day, Jennifer has never heard from Eva Mondragon. Eva stated that Jennifer was absolutely guilty, how she saw Jennifer with blood and bruises, changed her clothes, and then that she was the one who told Eva to lie to the police. But Eva stated that she wasn't going to lie for anyone. The family wanted to find out what Eva's police statements were, but the case file was closed, yet Jennifer was tried as an adult. It's so frustrating and so devastating that things like this happen when someone who had nothing to do with a crime is punished and spends so many years in prison. From what I've gathered and from what the evidence has gathered, there is absolutely nothing that points to Jennifer's involvement whatsoever. My prayer is that Maria would truly get justice because her life was senselessly taken from her, and my prayer is that Jennifer would be released from prison very soon. She's been in prison for like 20 years. So much time has been taken from her, and there's no reason why she should waste another second in prison. The Bible says in Luke chapter 8 verse 17, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." God knows exactly what happened all those years ago. If Eva, Kenneth, and Pharrell had anything to do with Maria's murder, God will make sure that they pay for that and for setting Jennifer up. For those cops who set Jennifer up as well, God will make them pay for not upholding the law as they should have. Jennifer was a child who was set up by adults who had their own agenda, and it's a shame. Parents out there, please be careful who you allow in your children's lives. Kids, everyone who says they're your friends are not your friends, so please choose them wisely. That's all I've got to say. If you've got any thoughts on this case, please leave your thoughts in the comment section. If you've got a certain case you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Please feel free to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me, and click the bell to be notified about the next video. If you liked the video, please feel free to hit the like button. I'll see y'all for the next True Crime Tuesdays. I'll talk to y'all later.